What's going on? Will Freemen, RevolutionaryLifestyleDesign.com, coming at you today to talk about why you should build a brand, not a hustle. Okay, and by a brand I mean an actual company based around your mission, yourself, something where you can build in goodwill and customer service and client service and have some type of competitive advantage and something that you plan on being in for a long time. Okay, a brand has name recognition, right? Coca-Cola, Pepsi, those are brands. You know exactly what I'm talking about when you say them. The same applies to the marketing industry, advertising agency, real estate, Keller Williams. I mean, you name it. Every industry will have its brand that people will know and instantly have an idea of what that is. And the goodwill that comes with it, and the trust that comes with it, and the authority that comes with it. My brand right now, RevolutionaryLifestyleDesign.com, is an authority site, and there would be no way to keep up with those article mills that have 10, 30, 100 new posts today. But what you can do is you can build an authority site where people will trust you, and that way you can get the traffic and you can sell products and sell services around that, and can be very successful doing that. So this is different from, a lot of guys into the FBA or the Kindle hustle. For most guys, I don't think FBA is the move. I have met one guy, my buddy Nick, who's making good money on it. You can check out the video on that. The Kindle hustle, I think for again, most people, not good. I've met one guy doing it who's doing well, but for most guys, it's not a good move. I mean, those hustles tend not to last very long. I was a prop trader in my early 20s. That hustle, our arbitrage needs lasted maybe a year. And at the end of the day, it's ideal to be able to put your efforts into something that's going to be able to reward you 5, 10, 15 years down the road, and be able to build a brand around it. And the brand is what's going to give you the moat, right? Warren Buffett calls, he invests in good brands that have a moat. Coca-Cola has a moat. Okay, Pepsi has been trying to compete with them for 50 years. They can't do it because Coca-Cola has that giant moat where everyone knows what it is. They know the brand. They like the brand. You can get it anywhere in the world, and it's very difficult to compete with. He invests in the Gillette razors the same way. Okay, the Gillette razors are the only razors that I'm going to buy. It's the vast majority of guys are going to buy those razors, and that moat is a massive advantage. I feel like I've tried to build a moat with RLD in terms of I keep my content real, super applicable. 99.9% of the stuff I give you is how to do X. It's unique, and it's based around me, and where guys might be able to develop a personal relationship after having watched 7, 10, 20, 30 videos or articles and things of that nature, which helps me compete in this marketplace, because it is competitive. So being able to build that brand is important, not just for being able to make money, but being able to protect yourself from competition. Okay, if you want to look at two really good brands, you look at Donald Trump, who in the last 10 years or so doesn't even develop the towers himself. He just puts his stamp on it, puts the license on it, and lets someone else build it, gets a percentage. And the builder wants the Trump brand on there because he knows that he's going to make a lot more money when it's Trump Towers. Same thing with the Virgin brand, Richard Branson's brand. I was reading his autobiography. He's been in, trains, planes, soda, Virgin Mobile, and the vast majority of his recent businesses, he's not even involved in the day-to-day. He'll get like 20%. He'll put the deal together, and then he'll get 20% off of it for putting the Virgin brand on and putting the people together and smoothing out the government contracts and things of that nature. But that brand is worth an absolute fortune because people trust it and has that authority. And the other important thing is that the brand is bigger than any platform. It's fungible, right? I've spread RevolutionaryLifestyleDesign.com from my site to YouTube now, and I'm getting about the same views on YouTube as I am on my site. And this year I'll probably do a pay-for-play Facebook campaign. That's how you get big on Facebook, by the way. Probably do the same on Twitter. Being able to spread that brand to as many platforms as you can. So if one of those platforms loses steam, which one of them will 10 years from now, or you can't access that platform, whatever, you've got you're like an octopus. You've got your tentacles in as many different areas as possible, and your brand's bigger than that particular platform. For example, I'm going to be doing peak performance coaching in the next few months, which has been going to be coaching for high-end guys who have the income for it. And the thing about that is when you have products and services, when you have your name, it's like it doesn't matter what the platform is, you are going to be able to make a living anywhere, right? If you're on 6 or 7 different platforms and you've got products and you've got high-end coaching, I mean, you are very well protected for the future. And that only comes from having that brand and getting your name and your message out there and your brand's message out there as much as possible. And the other thing to add is that when it's a hustle and it's 6 months or a year, that's gone. You don't build up any goodwill. It's very hard to make a living from stuff you did 10 years ago. I want to make a living from stuff I did 10 years ago. I'm making a living from books I wrote 3 years ago, articles I wrote 5 years ago. I want to be able to get clients now that I'm going to have 10 years from now, right? You want to be able to get clients that you have right now that could still be paying you 10 years from now, and compounding that interest and reinvesting it back into your business. And being able to work a lot less hard 10 years from now because of all the stuff that you've built up now. Whereas it's a hustle and it's like 6 months here, 1 month there, you never get that compound interest. You never get that, passive income, being able to reinvest. You never get those clients that you brought on, you did a bunch of hard work for 10 years ago that are still paying you 10 years later, and a number of different things. And you don't get that moat, that competitive advantage when you got an Amazon FBA store. Anyone can just come around and slit your throat with the same product, tweak it slightly different, because you've got no brand protection there. You're out there in the open, and the majority of those guys, they're just like, they're finding the niche and then they're hoping someone doesn't find their niche and put them out of business by selling it cheaper or tweaking one little thing. The smart guys will be able to roll out of that drop shipping or that FBA into a brand, or there are some guys making 250, 300 grand a year off those hustles in a bunch of different stores, and I tip my hat to them. But I think for the vast majority of guys, building a brand, putting in brand equity, building up that goodwill, building that moat, getting those clients on now, getting that passive income if it's possible now, getting that traffic that's going to be coming to you in the future, getting your name out there so you can get those referral word of mouth sales, which are some of the best money that you can make. I mean, and also just being able to have that mission of like, this is what I'm doing with my life, as opposed to like, I'm doing this hustle, I'm doing that hustle. I don't think the hustler is a good moniker. I think the moniker you're looking for is entrepreneur. I build things, I build brands, I help people, I have my name out there, I stand behind what I do, and I think that is a better frame of reference. With that said, I'm not knocking the hustlers, dude. I knew, my man Brian was making, I think he made 100 grand a month on his AliExpress hustle. I don't know if he's still doing that, but I'm just talking on average, and that's something to be aware of. So I recommend build that brand, dude, and you do it right, you won't be disappointed. So that's all I got to say on that topic. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and as always, thanks for watching and thanks for listening.